Hi everyone, it's Kristen. Um, yeah, now that I look at it, I'm like, it's kind of weird to see the, Wonder Woman symbol like right next to the X-Men symbol. But I mean, this is my favorite hoodie, and so I like wear it all the time. So I'm also wearing Wonder Woman socks. So I guess I kind of thought Wonder Woman, and then I'm like, well, it's still cold though. So this, anyway, it happens. So for this one, we have yesterday was Iron Man. And just gives you a teeny blurb, Tony Stark, billionaire inventor, or, inventive genius, became a billionaire, sort of thing. As Iron Man, he has, these powers. Um, I mean, like, I kind of sometimes skip over characters because I'm like, most people are super familiar with, the backstory of the character. And then Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, because she's a huge fan of, the original Ms. Marvel. Okay, so it's not that I don't like her character. It's just I think it's because I was okay when before Marvel gained back the film rights to X-Men, in 2019, when they bought Fox. Um, they were really, really pushing Inhumans, like really pushing them to be the next big thing, the next big like, replace mutants basically, or make them trying to make them not replace them, but trying to make them as popular as X-Men. Um, because like I said before, Agents of the Shield, I loved that show. I thought it was a great show. I was sad when it ended, but most of the whole plot revolves around Inhumans, right? And that show I think started 2012, 2013, lasted for 7 seasons, somewhere in there. And oh, there's Dazzler. Hi, Dazzler. And then Ms. Marvel, like Kamala Khan, she just was created in 2013. And then ABC did or Marvel Disney did, the whole Inhumans TV show, which, I watched it, I gave it a chance, and I didn't like it. I mean, it was just, the chemistry of the actors was off. Some of the acting was not as good. Like, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus or anything. And the Medusa's hair, the CGI, was not that great. Yeah, it was just not good. I don't know. It just didn't come together like they thought it would, and it just wasn't a hit like they thought it would be. And so that was like 2017. Like I said, I feel like they tried to push, Ms. Marvel to be more popular, and appear in X-Men books, and have a friendship with Spider-Man. Like I mean, recently it was they teased about this huge event happening, and this character dies and sacrifices themselves, and pretty much we all knew it was going to be Miss Marvel. And then you see though, um in the Emma Frost and Iron Man wedding special, you see her sitting on Ant-Man's shoulders. So you're like, okay, obviously she didn't really die, or even if she died, they brought her back like the next issue or something. It just like that's kind of what bothered me during the Krakoa era, is that death was meaningless, and it usually is in comics. Don't get me wrong, but it was even more meaningless. Sorry, I'm trying to talk over her. She's not normally just like sitting right in front of the camera. Um, Dazzler, you're so funny. It was made even more meaningless because oh, you died, it's no big deal. You'll just be resurrected tomorrow, sort of thing. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if it was like a goof on someone's part, or a blunder, but yeah, Marvel released those promo images of the wedding, and you can see, all the wedding guests, and there's Kamala Khan sitting on, Ant-Man's shoulder, and you're like, Okay, so her death, was super meaningless. Like they tried to make it a tearjerker, a big deal, and it was super meaningless because she was there. She was. She's already. You can already see that she's written into other projects. Like not very far down the line. That was like what, a month or two when she was back? Maybe not even then. I don't know. I was not happy with that because I just think it's like kind of a cheap ploy for them to do. Anyway, moving on. Like I said, I just felt like they kind of pushed Inhumans too hard to make them trying to be the super relevant, even more relevant than X-Men, because they didn't have the film rights to X-Men yet. And now that they have film rights, they're I mean, I liked the show. Don't get me wrong. The show that Ms. Marvel was in, I thought that was fun. It was a fun show. But then the Marvels, I'm like, this is one of those crossover events that you could read but you didn't even have to read it because nothing happened in the crossover. Like nothing. It's not it's not important. It was just, a fun, goofy story, basically. Like, so I guess in that sense, I was like, okay, well, this isn't, it wasn't an important story, but it was a fun story. Like I liked the Flurkins, the kittens. That was the best part of the whole movie. That was the best part of the whole movie because of course I love cats. So if it wasn't for that, I probably, and Beast, the Beast cameo at the end. If it wasn't for that, then I probably wouldn't even ever rewatch it, to be honest. Okay, so for today, we have Doctor Strange. And this is from Amazing Adventures 23, March 74. Avengers 27, September 74. Son of Satan, number 1, December 75. I totally forgot that. Yeah, I forgot about that comic. I don't know if I have any issues with that. I don't think my parents, back then would have been like, yeah, that's fine. You can buy that. Or sure, why not? Yeah, I don't think I have any of those because yeah, I don't think my parents would have liked that. And pretty much most of the comics I bought growing up are what I kind of still enjoy today. So since I didn't buy it then, don't really know much about it. But like I said, my parents would have been like, yeah, no. I mean, my grandmother, she wouldn't let us watch Bewitched because it was about a witch. I mean, it was just one of those little quirky things, but we weren't allowed to watch Bewitched because it was about a witch. Anyway, so this is where they got it from. Obviously, they changed it, and they say in this little long paragraph that they had to change it because, of course, you can't see some of the details, and the spell ring is covering it, and they made the cape more like the cape that he has, had at the time then, instead of the cape that he has here. And so that's Clea on the page with him. And this is from Strange Tales 127, December 64. Oh, I think his first appearance was in Strange Tales in 64. No. Or maybe it was 63. I just remember it was, he appeared, first appearance was in Strange Tales something, because I thought it was ironic that his name's Doctor Strange and he appeared in Strange Tales, which I'm assuming that was done on purpose. And one of my favorite moments in the, Avengers movies are when they're introducing themselves in space and, Peter says, hey, I'm Peter. And Doctor Strange is like, Doctor Strange. And he's like, oh, we're using our made up names. Oh, well, in that case, I'm Spider-Man. I thought that was so funny and so cute, so, I mean, I thought Tom Holland did a good job of playing Spider-Man. Oh yeah, Doctor Strange. Yeah, I've seen online recently some people have said, well, why didn't, if Doctor Strange is so powerful, he's been the Sorcerer Supreme, why didn't he ever just heal his hands? Well, I feel like part of that is that, you know, using power for personal gain always comes with the price. It makes me think of Once Upon a Time. They always say, magic comes with a price. Um, that's another show I really like to watch. And then also it kind of is a reminder of how far he's come, like how he got to where he is now. So I think that in that aspect, he needs that reminder, or he personally feels like he needs that reminder. And then, of course, he is not the only one who has been a sorcerer supreme. You know, some standouts to me include Isaac Newton, um, of course, Wong, Clea, Agamotto, obviously. Loki briefly tricked Doctor Strange into that. Um, now Doctor Doom is the current Sorcerer Supreme, so that's going to be interesting. And he has his own, mini series coming out, or his own series, One World Under Doom sort of thing. So that's going to be really interesting. Like, I'm really interested to read that. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about Doctor Doom a lot lately with Storm 3 and 4. Which I still haven't found a copy of Storm 4. It's like impossible to find. Like, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden everyone, I guess, picked up Storm 3 because of the Uncanny X-Men, and then they picked up Storm 4, and I just missed the boat on that because I can't find a copy of it anywhere. So, and then let's see, where else were we talking about? Oh yeah, and Dazzler, the Dazzler video, Dazzler 3 video I just did. He was the main villain. So anyway, yeah. It's just interesting that he's popping up, in all the stuff I'm doing lately, just randomly. So anyway, I will see you again next time. Oh, like who is your favorite Sorcerer Supreme? Oh yeah, Brother Voodoo, he's also been, or Doctor Voodoo, he's also been a Sorcerer Supreme. Like, who's your favorite Sorcerer Supreme? And who do you think would also make a good Sorcerer Supreme that not necessarily has been a Sorcerer Supreme yet? So anyway, until next time, bye.